Welcome, everybody, to this week's KubeVirt community meeting. It is the 5th of August, 2026. Let me just find my chat window and put the link to the agenda. If you're just joining us now, welcome. But also, if you could please put your name down on the attendees right here, that would be wonderful. Is there anyone who is joining us for the first time, or if it's not your first time, hasn't taken the opportunity to introduce themselves in the past? All right. Let us press on then with our schedule check-in. You will hopefully notice this is a brand new spanking link. The 110 schedule has been merged. Just gives us some new reading material. So the key milestones to be paying attention to, we have the 2nd of September for the VEP freeze. We have a code freeze on the 21st of October, and then a week before Code Thaw. Code Thaw is new for this version. We've not done that before. And then we have the 18th of November for our 110 GA with CDI, as per usual, coming in about a week afterwards. Does anyone have any questions about the 110 schedule? Cool. We've got some events coming up. This is also the main agenda link. The KubeVirt Summit live at Salt Lake City CFP is open. This is a mini conference event that is part of KubeCon North America 2026, which is in Salt Lake City between the 10th and the 12th of November. We still don't know which day our mini conf will be. It is part of the Cloud Native Theater. If anyone is familiar with the similar event that we ran in Amsterdam in March, it's basically the same thing. So it's in-person talks in the Solutions Showcase. So there's another week for the presentations for that, and we can guarantee that speakers who are accepted will be given a KubeCon pass. And we hope to also have the same for co-speakers, but we can't guarantee it. Unfortunately, it depends on what configuration our schedule takes. So that's the only conference that I'm aware of that has an open CFP. If you are aware of an open CFP that's of interest to the KubeVirt community, please let me know, and I'll put it here and tell people about it. Similarly, we've got some events coming up. We've got two KubeVirt summits, the KubeVirt Summit Live that I just mentioned, but also KubeVirt Summit Virtual. Maybe I should have given these different names. So that will be on the 15th of October. I'm hoping to get the schedule out today, just hitting a couple of obstacles with that. So that is a free and virtual event, same as it's been for the previous 5 years, I believe. The link here will take you to the registration page. That's all you have to do. Well, you have to register. You also have to turn up. Just two things. And yeah, we're hoping to have another great year of interesting talks. Those are the events. And let's have a quick calendar check-in. So tomorrow is our, what do you call it? SIG control plane fortnightly meeting. That's Thursday, just after the SIG scale meeting. Next Monday, we've got triple whammy, SIG storage, SIG network, and SIG observability. Those are all fortnightly meetings, followed by a very special edition of the VEP meeting talking about VEP 248. Hopefully people saw the invitation to that. Also, hopefully that's not considered as spam. I think it's been suggested in the past that it would greatly accommodate people running those kinds of meetings if they had the invites, and also it lets everyone know that it's happening. Also on Tuesday will be our confidential computing in KubeVirt. Now, I said this last week, but is Fan here? Fan is here. If you have attended that in the last couple of months and found it to be empty slash not many people there, then we are hoping to change that. Fan will be moderating that. So please turn up and attend that next Tuesday if you know your realm of expertise or interest touches on confidential computing. And that is the week to come for specialty meetings. Okay. On the agenda, we are getting some things turning up. Wonderful. For those who are unfamiliar with this meeting, you are more than welcome to add things to here, because if no one adds anything, it'll be a very short meeting. So we touched on KubeVirt Summit Live. I've got another thing here on the open floor. So this was released last week. It's a case study that was by the CNCF that was released as part of KubeCon Japan. I think last week I mentioned that there was a keynote about this project. Super interesting read about how NTT Docomo Business partnered with SK Telecom to build a unified Kubernetes cluster distributed across 8 data centers. So that itself has KubeVirt underlaid, but then the infrastructure that's running is also backed by KubeVirt, which is it's the Pertussis cloud, which was developed by SK Telecom. Yeah, I thought that was really cool, and I think other people will find that really cool as well. Okay, Andre, you've got the next point. And you're on mute.
I was saying, we have developed several things here internally, but now we want to push back to the code. I don't know if this is the proper way to do it. Can I share my screen? What we are proposing?
Probably. I don't know. Can you? Yes.
Are you able to see my screen? Let me open here. Then,
I'll stop sharing
what we
mine.
are putting on the let's say web or PR, we are putting back the SPICE protocol on KubeVirt, and we have developed an integration with Looking Glass solution to be able to be like crystal clear, near zero latency of frame delivery of the remote desktop solution. And also we push over WebRTC/Quick protocol, the remote desktop session over a pure HTML5 solution, for you understand. This is what we have done. This is internal development, but we want to push back to be supported by the community, for you understand. We also make gamepad solution work. This means that is better than the parsec solution that is on the market. Okay, and things like that. Everything is well explained in it, but if we put this PR, how then we put the code and make it as part of KubeVirt? This is what we are having some doubts about. Okay, start with the PR and then okay, this is what I'm asking. Okay,
So, Aurel, you've put in a link there. Do you want to speak to that?
yeah, I saw
Yeah,
the
sure.
video. Yeah,
Yes, yes, please continue.
go on.
Thanks. So last November, we had the new contributor session, and there is this video recording where you can watch and get most of the information. There is also the contributing.md file on the KubeVirt repo. And if you require some assistance, just post the PR, and we'll review it and do the process together.
Great. But after I put the PR, how I make the code we have done as part of KubeVirt? Can you explain a little bit more?
Sure, when you post a PR, you are suggesting KubeVirt to pull your changes. You basically say, I want to propose these changes, and the KubeVirt project should accept them, if the community actually wants them in. So there will be a review process, and in the end, the change will either be accepted or changed a bit or rejected, or something else would be suggested. And if it would be accepted, then it would be on the KubeVirt main branch, and it would be incorporated upstream.
Okay. But I'm not responsible for doing that. The community does that for me after I put the PR, correct?
No, you are responsible for pushing your PR. You are responsible for addressing the review comments, and you are
Okay.
responsible for the overall quality of the PR. Like, you should be attentive. You should answer the
Great.
reviewers, quickly
Okay.
enough, and it's up to you to get it to the finish line.
Great. We're gonna do the work to make it happen. Okay, great. That's all I need. Thank you so much.
Thank you
I've
for
also
your
thrown in
contribution.
a link to the enhancements repo. So you will need to put in, from the sounds of things, this is large enough that you need to put in a VEP. It looks like you've got the VEP mostly written. There is a template in that in the VEP folder, and there is the README, but also documentation in the docs folder. So that should give you a pretty good starting point there. And then there is, not next week, but the following week, if you have questions about the process, there is a VEP meeting on our calendar on Tuesdays.
Got it. Then thank you so much, guys. Talk to you next.
Thank you. Daniel.
Hey, hope you can hear me. Cool. So yeah, I just wanted to pitch again, like the change that I did for the Phase plugin. I have just in a nutshell, the Phase plugin actually tries to split the current number of PRs, or the number of test lanes that are being run on any pull request, into two phases. First of all is the basic phase, which will run all phase 0 or phase 1 pre-submit, which is all, for example, like make generate, go mod, whatever else. And then after the LGTM approved has been put on the PR, then the second phase is being run. So the remaining E2E jobs are being run. What we're currently aiming at is improving that plugin to support more than one phase, so that we can be more flexible about what is being run on any pull request. So at the moment, I have an example configuration open that uses the phase 0 and phase 1. So the example would be like the furthest down point, where I have put in the example configuration for the jobs link to the pull request. If you could show that, Andrew, please. It's like 5262. So this is the second pull request that you see in my part. Yeah, or this one. Yeah, that's also good. Thanks. Yeah. So basically, what we're trying to do is we're trying to add another phase where we only put the initial or where we only run like the initial ones on that. So you would basically take a look at would just have like the make generate, make unit test, and some other pull requests, but no E2E test would be run as pre-submit. The E2E test would be run only in phase 1 after all phase 0 would be successful. That's basically in a nutshell what it does. And yeah, since it has been stalling a bit, like I'm asking for reviews of this and hope that we can get this to fruition at some point. Yeah, that's actually the one phase. You see, for example, in line 306, you see phase KubeVirt IO phase 1, and if you expand the section which is minus 316, yeah, exactly that one. Then you would basically see the name of this is the check test for flakes, which would mean the check test for flakes would be one of those that would be run in phase 1, which would be after phase 0. That's basically in a nutshell how it would work. More details in the pull request. I don't want to take too much time, so yeah, I just want to pitch this again. That's basically what I'm asking for. Please review that and give feedback. Thanks.
Sounds really cool. Okay. Harshit?
Hey everyone.
Sorry, my browser's crazy slow.
So this is just to resurface the pluggable virtualization stack web. I know there has not been much activity in the last month or so, but there have been some conversations, and we have some open questions, which I would like to schedule an ad hoc call to answer some big ticket to get answers for some big ticket questions before we make more changes to the web, so that progress can be faster. So I just wanted to say I'm going to send a meeting invitation request for 2 weeks from now, and all interested people, please accept the meeting and attend it so that we can get your thoughts.
Have you considered just using libvirt drivers instead?
libvirt drive.
I think I'm remembering if that's the right term, where you can swap out QEMU for a different hypervisor.
Yes, that is true. I think that would just apply for libvirt, sorry, for the virt launcher component. However, for things like virt controller, where we need to compute memory overhead or other properties of the launcher pod, then that custom logic would still have to live in tree. And so that, and then some other modern VMMs like Firecracker and Dragon Ball, they don't have a libvirt driver. And even Cloud Hypervisor has a libvirt driver, but it's not at parity with QEMU, as far as I'm aware. So I mean, if there is a libvirt driver, you can use it in the plugin. If not, just use the VMM directly without libvirt. That's the idea of the plugin approach.
Okay, thank you.
I had a question. Does this web also scope the refactoring the dependencies, the libvirt QEMU dependencies when building the images?
Yes. So the proposal is that virt launcher would be moved to a separate repository, which is where the libvirt QEMU dependencies would be declared, and all the packaging for virt launcher would be carried out from there. Obviously, this is a major discussion point, so I'm open to any suggestions. But yes, it would affect how dependencies are packaged into the virt launcher, because that would become its own plugin. A separate plugin implementation in its own right, and would live in a separate repository. I hope that answers the question.
Yes. So how about the word handler?
The word handler would still, so this is in the proposal, but word handler would still, I mean, word handler does not package libword. It has this sidecar node labeler component, which packages libword, um, which would be built by the plugin implementation. And as far as the interaction of word handler or the assumption in word handler that libvirt is present on the node, that will have to change for sure. And we will have to work out how it interacts with the underlying virtualization runtime based on the actual word stack. So that tight coupling with libvirt will have to be broken in this web.
Yeah, I have a concern. If you move the word launcher out of the tree, however, we're using the word controller to construct the uh, domain XML and the QMU parameters. That will the word controller will be the central place to infer the platform and constructing the data structures. How
Sure,
does
sure.
that work for the different word launcher out of trees?
So word controller does not construct the XML, right? It only computes the memory overhead for one and other properties for the word launcher based on the word runtime. Of course, we can discuss this more in the ad hoc meeting. But the most of the libvirt specific or chemo specific logic lives in word launcher, which will be which will continue to work as is if we choose the vanilla plugin of libvirt chemo. But I will be more than happy to answer all your questions in the web and in the ad hoc meeting. I think we need to sort these out.
Yeah, sure. We can have follow up.
Can I? So another question is, are you also kind of thinking of having checks, guards, or like a framework in place um, which enforces that the API is either changed or guarded using webhooks or something if the underlying hypervisor or platform does not implement those features that are defined by the KubeVirt API?
Yes, that is actually a part of another web, which is capability definitions. I can share a link to that in a bit. So that web's purpose is to in the webhooks, admission webhooks, accept or reject virtual machine instances or other data structures based on the capabilities of the underlying word runtime of the word stack.
Got it. Okay, I think it will be good to link that as well. I'll take a
Yeah,
look. Thanks.
let me do it.
Hey, thanks for bringing that up. If you want, rather than sending out an invitation, if you want to send me the details, I'll set up and we can put it on the KubeVirt calendar and we can record it and put it on the YouTube through the KubeVirt stuff. If you just want to ping the details. And is it likely that let me just go up to the calendar. If we use the same slot as if we run it after the VEP discussion in 2 weeks, is that going to be an issue for anyone or an hour before?
So which time zone is this, by the way?
This is my time zone. This is Central European time. But if you open up this link in yours, it should come to yours. And so if we do it either directly after the VEP discussion or immediately before, that's probably our best window. So if you just want to let me know what works best for you, and we'll throw it out there and see what we can make work.
Edward has his hand up for a long time, I think.
Oh.
My hand is it hurts. No, just kidding.
You're a
not
strong
that,
guy.
yeah. I just wanted to say that this specific topic, there are several heavy topics. This is one of the heavier topic in the project now. I think this has a potential to be assigned as a working group because it's like temporary, but it will probably go through several releases. And having like a bi-weekly meeting or something like that or weekly, it depends on when it will be more beneficial. So maybe we can think after this, maybe after the kickoff of that you will set in the next meeting, we can discuss this as well.
Great point. And if that is the case, another session would be in the off weeks of the KubeVirt DRA meeting, which is an hour and a half before this meeting. So we could either have it before or in the previous hour or hour and a half or something like that is also an option. Yeah, take a look, send me the details, and I'll create the event on the KubeVirt calendar. Thanks for that. Let me go back to this. Just a couple of things I wanted to bring to people's attention. We've only got a couple of minutes left. I should add this to the template, but this is the version 110 enhancements board. So with a month before, I think it's a month before our vet freeze, the earlier that those reviews are done, the more likely those VEPs are to get in. And another one that's still in a draft mode, but there is this by Daniel, which is adding automation and also governance for the automation regarding our SIG and working group activity tracking. So yeah, just kind of, as I understand it, notifying when a SIG or a working group is starting to have issues with chairs present and whether or not it's time to wind those working groups or SIGs down. So please put your thoughts on that. It affects us all. Yeah, that's all from me that I wanted to bring attention to. We are at the end of the meeting. Daniel, did you want to say something quickly?
No. I just wanted to mention one specific case where we have a working group for ARM64, whose chair has been inactive for 2 years already. So I think that's one of the issues that I see, and I think like I was just noticing that, and I thought that we have a gap there. We should do something about that. So that's just my why that came to be.
Is that Howard?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. I have a new contact at ARM who is, I think, on a lengthy leave at the moment, but I'll see if I can find another person from ARM to fill that position as well. But thanks for bringing that up. Hey, thanks everyone for being here. Thanks for everything that you do in the community. It's been pointed out to me a couple of times that we are dangerously close to 10 years of this project. I think it happens next Tuesday, the official creation of the first public repo for KubeVirt. So this is a really exciting time for the project. That's why we're running so many KubeVirt summits. I won't eat any more of C Compute's time. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you.